It is very easy to become numb to media bias these days, so the Ingraham Angle is keeping track of the worst offenders of the year. Joining me now is Kurt Schlichter, Townhall.com senior columnist, and Harmeet Dhillon, CEO at the Center for American Liberty and RNC National Committee woman for California. You guys, let's begin with what the media said about Kyle Rittenhouse.
In Wisconsin, you have Rittenhouse, a white teenager who crossed state lines with an AR-15 style rifle.
He crossed state lines with an AR-15, threw himself in the middle of all this, and started shooting people.
Yeah, but Kurt, there's this little thing about how he actually did not cross state lines with an AR-15.
I love how they're stunned about all of this, that Americans actually cross state lines, although he didn't. That Americans actually have AR-15s, which they do. I shot one myself this week. And how they're stunned. Stunned, I say, that an American might defend himself against, for example, a convicted child rapist. The media's a little bit out of touch, just a hair, as the jury said unequivocally.
I mean, Harmeet, they really slandered this poor kid. It was just disgusting what they did to him.
Oh, absolutely. And that was just one of the many lies that the media told repeatedly. And then they never went back and corrected it. So I don't know where Kyle goes to get his reputation back, but I suspect we're going to hear more about that in coming months.
Well, hopefully he sues the pants off of them. And I think you could probably offer some pretty good advice on that. So I also want to turn to the Virginia governor's race. The media says there's only one reason that Glenn Youngkin won. Watch.
Glenn Youngkin played the race card for a reason, because he knows it works on certain white voters.
He did stoke white grievance politics to mobilize the Republican base.
Some Republican candidates are perfectly willing to use race as a motivating factor for their base.
Yeah, Harmeet, it obviously had nothing to do with Terry McAuliffe insulting parents or the Dems' failing agenda. Harmeet? Kurt?
I lost the audio.
Oh, no worries, Harmeet. Kurt, what do you make of that? Yeah, obviously they're trying to shift blame away from a terrible candidate.
Well, of course they are, Lisa. Look, for the left and its minions in the media, racism is the Swiss Army knife. It's the answer to all your problems. Voters don't like you. Well, the voters are racist. You're not able to get your bills passed through Congress. Congress is racist. No one loves you. You live alone and you eventually die and you're eaten by your cats. Racism. Everything's racism. And it's all ridiculous. I think Americans are getting tired of it.
I think they are as well, and I think that's what we saw with the Virginia governor's race. There's also, here's how MSNBC Rachel Maddow reacted when the CDC guidance didn't quite fit her narrative anymore. Watch.
If you are vaccinated, it's okay to take off your mask now, indoors and out. Really? Are you sure? How sure are you?
Kurt, how sure are you?
Well, look, there's something for everybody to hate with the CDC's mask guidance, since they've literally had every position. First we had, don't wear a mask. Then you have to wear one mask. Then you have to wear two masks. Then no masks. Now you have to wear a mask again. Now it's an N95 mask. Who knows what it's going to be tomorrow? Maybe it'll be an entire plastic suit. I don't know. The fact is the CDC has no credibility. In that way, it's very similar to the media.
Yeah, Harmeet, we've got you back now. What do you make about all this flip-flopping from the CDC, all these different things we've heard from media figures as well? Everyone's been all over the map about pretty much everything.
Well, the CDC and the media have completely failed here to provide a consistent message to the American public for public health reasons that would actually enable us to protect ourselves against COVID. And I think the inconsistencies in the messaging and the flip-flopping have really undermined American confidence. And that's very dangerous, because this isn't going to be the only health crisis that we have. And so I hope that the media takes a long, hard look at how they have distorted guidance. They have condemned people who've now come forward with information that has now turned out to be true. And they have actually even turned on the CDC at times. So they really need to take a look at whether they've made the situation worse in America by providing inconsistent and wrong information to the American public regularly.
Good point. You know, and a top issue for parents everywhere this year in 2021 was critical race theory being taught in our schools. But here's what the media wants you to think about that.
Critical race theory is not being taught in Virginia public schools. It's not being taught in any public schools in America because it's a legal scholarship that is taught as an elected in law school.
Kurt, 15 seconds.
Critical race theory is not being taught. It's also essential that it be taught all at the same time. Again, it's the solution to every problem. Just lie. That's what the media does.
Harmeet, 15 seconds to you too as well, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Critical race theory is the latest label for a package of propaganda, including about gender and transgender issues that's being force-fed to our children. It is absolutely true. It needs to come to an end.
Well done. Thank you both, and Happy New Year.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.